Hello there. Thank you for taking a moment to watch this video. And on this particular training, we are going to continue talking about the webhook integration options. And on this training specifically, we're going to be talking about this manual trigger webhook. So we've talked a lot about some of these webhooks that are automated, right? When you click a disposition, it fires off information. When somebody unsubscribes, information gets fired off. But there are some times that you might want to trigger a webhook manually. And that's where this option comes into play. And so let's talk about how you can take advantage of this and where it's going to show up in PhoneBurner. So again, we're going to jump over to Zapier. As a reminder, you don't have to use Zapier for your webhooks. This is just the tool that I'm using for this training for these examples. You can use any tool out there that you want where you can generate your webhooks, or you can build your own webhooks and process them yourself. Now let's go ahead and create a new Zap. And this Zap is going to be titled Manual Webhook. And the trigger is going to be a webhook. So we're going to do Webhooks by Zapier. Of course, it's going to be a catch hook. We're not going to do anything here. We're going to go ahead and continue. And now we need to test it. So let's go ahead and copy this URL. Let's go back to our settings and paste it into the box and save changes. Now, how do we take advantage of this? Let's jump up to the top here. Oh, sorry. Let's just click on our Contacts tab. And let's take our contact Patty Closer, the one that we called for the SMS opt-out. When you open up a record, or when you're looking at a record, under the Actions menu, you will see a Send to Webhook option once you've added a webhook URL to that manual option. So let me just show you. So I'm going to come back here. Let's capture this and save it. So it's now gone. Now watch what happens when I refresh. Oh, where did Patty go? There she is. Go to Actions, and now it's gone, right? So by adding the webhook here, that adds the option here under the Actions. So we'll see that back now. Let's go ahead and send to webhook. That should send this information, the contact information from PhoneBurner, to our Zap. Let's go ahead and test the trigger. And we should have some information here now. Let's go ahead and continue. And we are again going to use Google Sheets. And as a reminder, even though I'm using Google Sheets, you can use whatever tool you want. You can update whatever tool you want or need. So most likely you're going to be updating an external CRM or something like that. Go ahead and get connected here. Now, before I go any further, once again, I'm going to go ahead and add another tab or worksheet to this Google spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and add that. Rename it. Manual webhook. Now, again, you don't necessarily have to create different worksheets within your Google Sheet if you're sending it to a Google Sheet. Now, of course, if you're sending it to a CRM or some other system, obviously you got to work within the bounds of that system. I'm only doing different worksheets just so that we can separate everything out and we can see how everything works individually. Now, of course, we don't have any column headers here, so let's go ahead and get some column headers. We can take, let's take, for example, just the ones that we used for the SMS opt-out. Go ahead and throw these in here. So contact name, phone number, email address, contact ID. We might want to throw a few other things in here. We'll take a look at that when we actually start building out the actual Zap. There might be a couple other things that we'll want to add. So let's go back to the Zap. Let's go to our Google Drive. And of course, let's grab that spreadsheet. And we're going to grab our worksheet. This is our manual webhook option. Once we select that, we're going to see all of our column headers that we can take advantage of. So we're going to do something like first name, last name. Let's get our phone number here. Of course, we can do all phone numbers or primary phone. I'm going to do primary phone in this particular case. Where's my primary phone? There it is. Email address, we have primary. We have the option to do email addresses or primary email address, just like we do phone number. And then we got our contact ID. So that's user ID, yep, that's what we'd use here. Let's say we wanted to add another field, like maybe we wanted the current PhoneBurner status or something like that. So we could go back over to our spreadsheet, current PB status. However we want to define that, right? And then we come back here and refresh fields, and we should see that now available as an option. So then we need to go ahead and find the status. What is that called here? I can't remember if it's status. Nope, not status. Maybe results. Call result, I think is what it is. So this particular record has been called but hasn't been dispositioned, so there is no current call result. So right now that is blank, and we're going to go ahead and continue, and we're going to test this. That should add a record here, but of course, no current PB status. So now let's jump into a dial session because I want to show you one other way that this can be used. However, I don't want to use Patty Closer because she's on our do not call list, although I could remove her from the do not call list. Let me show you how to do that real quick. So let's jump over to dial session settings, DNC, so I don't really need her on my DNC list. And back over here, refresh. So now she should be callable again. Let's go ahead and begin a dial session. Now again, this is not an automated one. This is a manual one. We have some automated ones running as well, but we're testing the manual. So I want to show you how this can be used in a dial session. So here we are calling Patty. Let's say she answers. She answers the phone, we have a conversation. Conversation happens. I'm going to hit pause here because I want to show you something. And then I'm going to click on, let's say, wrong person. So once I click on wrong person, because it's paused, I'm going to still be on the Patty Closer record. But let's say in a dial session, I want to do the manual webhook. You'll see under the Actions menu in the dial session window is also the Send to Webhook option. Now, of course, you don't have to do this after you end a call with somebody. You don't have to do this after you get off the phone with somebody. You don't have to hit pause. I did all of those things so that I could do the disposition before I sent this. But this option is available throughout the dial session. So while the phone is ringing, when you're on the phone with somebody, after you end the call with somebody, this option, this manual option is available. So when I click on this, PhoneBurner is going to send the contact details to that webhook URL. Now, because we have automation set up, this should automatically log that here in our Google spreadsheet. So we're going to give that a second to process. Oh, wait, did I not turn that? I might not have turned that on. Let's go back here and publish. Helps if you turn stuff on when you're trying to test it, right? So let's go ahead and test this. Or sorry, publish this. So now it's published, it's on. Let's confirm it is in fact on. Now let's go back to our dial session. And we're going to do that one more time. Send to webhook. Now it should automatically populate, which it did. And it did populate with the current PB status because that has now been updated from the dial session. Now again, this is the manual webhook option. All of our automated stuff is running separate from this. Any automated webhooks would be happening at the same time. So anyway, thanks for taking a moment to watch this video. I hope this helps you and your team get more done in less time using the power of PhoneBurner. Bye for now and happy dialing.